Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 464. If you're writing a book or thinking about it or trying to finish a book you've started, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who barely sorta, kinda, maybe sorta, sees themselves as a writer into a published book author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. And once again, good morning. Happy Sunday. As we do every Sunday here on the show, it is Sunday Story Time, where I grab a book off my bookshelf, whether it is one of my own books or a client book, or maybe a book that's had an impact on me, or one that is present tense having an impact on me. And that's the one I've chosen today. One of the, I think I have 3 or 4 books going now. It's a horrible habit. Don't follow this. This is why it takes me so long to finish books, because I have so many thought streams going that I need to have a book that entertains each one. I think that's my new theory. So one of the ones I'm reading now is called The Power of Bad: How the Negativity Effect Rules Us and How We Can Rule It, by John Tierney and Roy F. Baumeister. So The Power of Bad. And it's actually a very happy book, as I'm going to demonstrate. I have a couple little excerpts today. I kind of chose a theme today about maybe social media, especially this year. We're dealing with a lot of social media challenges, I would say, but the excerpts that I'm about to read kind of demonstrate that social media maybe isn't as bad as we think it is. There's ways to make it positive. So here's the first excerpt. Sounding positive makes you more likable and can also lift the spirits of your audience, whether you're talking to them in person or online. By tracking popularity on Twitter, researchers found that people gained more followers by tweeting positively rather than negatively. Another study showed that people on Twitter tended to turn positive or negative in their posting depending on the tweets they saw, but they were more eager to adopt upbeat themes. While negative tweets attracted more immediate attention, they'd be retweeted more rapidly. Over the long haul, it was the positive tweets that proved more popular and spread more widely. They were retweeted twice as often as the negative ones, and they were favorited 5 times as often. The Twitter wars that attract so much attention in the press are not the norm. Some people love to fight online, chiefly the political class, but most prefer to accentuate the positive. That's the first excerpt, and here's another excerpt that I found a few pages later. Oops, where did it go? Here we go. Sorry about that. My little Post-it thing fell out. The old mass media dictum, if it bleeds, it leads, doesn't govern social media. There's a big difference between what people read and what they share. When researchers at the University of Pennsylvania analyzed the New York Times most emailed list for 6 months, they found that negative articles were less likely to be shared than positive ones. People couldn't help reading about scandals and shootings, which were often at the top of the most viewed list, but they preferred sharing articles that were cheery, like wide-eyed new arrivals falling in love with the city, or articles that inspired awe, like a new theory about the structure of the universe. This disparity between what we heed and what we discuss was explored by neuroscientists in an experiment measuring social buzz. By scanning the brains of people who were being exposed to new ideas, the researchers could see which ideas they found most exciting. The ones that lit up the brain regions associated with encoding and retrieving memories. Those were the ones that lit them up. But afterward, those weren't the ideas that generated the most conversation. The most buzzworthy ideas were ones that lit up a different region of the brain, the one associated with social cognition, thoughts of other people. In deciding which ideas to pass on, the people focused not on the most personally exciting, but on what would be most appealing to others. And what they determined, to give you the outcome of that, was it was the positive ones. Things that they believed most appealing to others were the positive articles. So yeah, really interesting stuff there. And that chapter in the book, I think it's called The Pollyanna Effect. It has quite a bit more discussion, but those two areas of research I just wanted to bring to your attention were very interesting to me, that we hear a lot about the negative impacts of social media and how it's causing depression and anxiety. And of course, those things are probably true, but that's not the majority. That's not the norm, is what the overall impact of all these studies in the chapter. That's what I got from that. So my question for you as authors, for all of us, is how can you lead with the positive in your content, especially if we're looking at authors as this is what gets reshared the most? So like I just read, the negative things maybe gets that initial kind of like tweet storm of retweets and everything, just because it's, it's exciting, it's dramatic and all that, and political and all that. But the things that are getting reshared in the long run, the things that will continue to spread, that will continue to build buzz and create an audience for you and create a conversation amongst that audience, those are the positive things. So how can you lead with the positive? And I'm assuming that most of us are sharing mostly positive things anyway. I don't think a lot of us are promoting our books with negative things. So beyond sharing the positive to promote your book, it's like, how can we be leaders on social media as authors? How can we be almost thought leaders by sharing positive content and really demonstrating the impact of that? So something to think about. We have so much power as authors. Just want to remind us, and it's an important thing to remember that. And what we share and what we say and what we do on social media, whether people immediately are thinking like, oh, that's an author, or, sometimes they do. Remember, we're the authors, we're the professional communicators. So it's very important, the example that we set. So how can you lead with the positive in your content as an example for others? Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And please drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook and let us know the most positive content you've seen on social media lately. Inc. Authors on Facebook. Until tomorrow, happy writing.